The 2020s have been nothing short of a renaissance of female rap, an era where women in hip-hop are no longer just carving out space, they're owning it. A genre that was once limited to a few key voices has now blossomed into another golden era led by the girls. From chart-topping hits and viral moments that take over TikTok to groundbreaking collaborations and Grammy wins, this decade is proving that female rappers are the backbone of today's music scene. Artists like Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Doja Cat, JT, and more are redefining what it means to be a female rapper and rewriting the rules of the industry. A couple years ago, I asked you all to drop some names of new age female rappers in the comments because I was planning on making a video on them, but I had to put that idea on the back burner when I realized how quickly they were blowing up, so I needed to take a step back and see how things panned out. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the rise of this new golden era, dissecting the careers of new generation stars like Ice Spice, Doechii, Lotto, and so many more, with the help of my friends Pierre and Cecily from the Purse First podcast dedicated to female rap.
I'm Cecily, also known on the internet as Bad Fat Black Girl. I am a former entertainment journalist. I am an author of Bad Fat Black Girl, Notes from a Trap Feminist. And for people who are interested in rap girls, I also co-wrote the memoir of a very iconic female rapper by the name of Trina. That is also out, and I also am the creator and co-host of Purse First, the only podcast exclusively about female and queer rap.
And I am Prince Pierre. I am one half of the iconic rap duo Freaky Boys, as well as co-host of the amazing podcast Purse First, as well as Emmy Award-winning TV producer. And I am very excited to be here today.
We're breaking down how these women are shaping the sound, style, and culture of hip-hop, and how they built global brands and sparked viral trends. But that's not all. Stick around to the end of the video, because we'll be ranking these artists using a hierarchy pyramid system, analyzing their careers and cultural impact to determine where each of them stands in the rap game today.
I wish some of the girls logged out.
For example, with Ice Spice, like how many music videos is she gonna make where it's like, okay, her posted up on the block in front of everybody who lives on the block?
Don't you so fine. Oh my God.
I know. I think that Megan still has like some foundational work to do, and sometimes I worry if it's too late. Like, oh shit, like did you go too international too big too quickly?
And we'll also look ahead, making predictions about where these women are headed, who will dominate next, and what the future holds for female rap as it cements itself in the world of entertainment. Female rappers began creating space for themselves in hip-hop during its early years in the late 70s and early 80s. Trailblazers like MC Lyte and Salt and Peppa proved that women could dominate charts and speak on social issues, marking the rise of female voices. The 1990s saw female rappers thrive with diverse sounds and storytelling. Queen Latifah and her Grammy-winning Unity brought socially conscious rap to the forefront. Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown redefined femininity and sexuality in hip-hop, showcasing a balance of lyrical prowess and visual allure. Then we had Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill that became a landmark, winning 5 Grammys and elevating hip-hop as an art form. And of course, Missy Elliott revolutionized the genre with her futuristic sound, boundary-pushing visuals, and creative production. Female rappers were commercially successful and critically acclaimed, shaping hip-hop's identity. I have a whole video breaking down the rise of female rappers, so make sure you guys check that out. The 2000s continued the dominance of artists like Missy Elliott, who released multiple hits, and Eve, who balanced acting and music. However, the industry became less inclusive for female rappers, leading to fewer prominent voices as male rappers continued to dominate mainstream spaces. But Nicki Minaj completely stormed the 2010s with her decade-long solo reign. Her 2010 debut album, Pink Friday, introduced her as a global superstar with hits like Super Bass, Check It Out, Moment for Life, and Did It On 'Em. Throughout the decade, she released a string of Billboard charting records from Pink Friday Roman Reloaded to The Pink Print and Queen, going on to become the most commercially successful female rapper of all time. Nicki became the female rapper with the most consecutive years charting a single on the Billboard Hot 100 from 2010 to 2023, breaking the previous record held by Missy Elliott from 1996 to 2008. She blended pop and hip-hop, securing crossover appeal with collaborations across genres. Nicki's versatility and colorful personas is what set her apart from her predecessors. By 2020, she had charted hundreds of entries on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the most influential figures in modern rap. Despite criticism for lack of competition, Nicki maintained her dominance for nearly a decade. While there were other female rappers making their own waves throughout the decade, like Iggy Azalea, Rico Nasty, and a few others, nothing came close to her success. But by 2017, Cardi B was changing the direction of the presence of female rap. She first gained attention through her candid and humorous Instagram videos, and her fame grew further as a cast member on VH1's Love and Hip Hop New York, where she expressed her aspirations to transition from reality TV to rap. Her breakout moment came in 2017 with her debut single, Bodak Yellow, which soared to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's massive success made Cardi the first solo female rapper to top the chart in nearly 2 decades. This instant success established her as a force in hip-hop, proving her ability to turn viral moments into chart-topping hits. Her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, that was released in 2018, was both a critical and commercial success. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, featured multiple hit singles like I Like It and Be Careful, and won a Grammy for Best Rap Album, making her the first solo female rapper to win in that category. Cardi's impact in a short time has been transformative. She redefined what mainstream success looks like for a female rapper, and this left room for other women in hip-hop to break through as labels realize their value.
There's none of these girls, as far as I'm concerned, especially from a perspective of like being able to just be hood chicks, right? Without Cardi. Nicki was the first person to like find the door and walk through it, right? Cardi was the person who was able to walk in that door behind Nicki Minaj, this door that Nicki Minaj identified, and Cardi held that bitch open for so many other girls. Cardi made female rap a girls' club. It wasn't just, here is a good rapper who is a female. Nicki has always been after this crown, right? This very, this title, this position, this place, this singular throne, right? Cardi has always understood that like women collectively actually need to hear this shit that we're talking about. This music, this genre means something to women collectively, and she made female rap a girls' club.
The 2020s marked an explosion of female rappers fueled by social media, streaming, and collective empowerment. In 2019 alone, the 8 female rappers Cardi, Lizzo, Nicki, Young Miami, JT, Iggy Azalea, Megan Thee Stallion, and Saweetie charted on the Billboard Hot 100. This marked the highest number of female rappers to chart in a single year of the 2010s, setting the stage for the 2020s to be a decade of significant growth and dominance for women in hip-hop. In the year 2020, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Doja Cat dominated charts with viral hits. Doja's Say So became a smash hit, pushing her to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time and kicked off her mainstream career. The following week, Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce's Savage remix became a chart-topping hit, also solidifying Megan Thee Stallion's place in the mainstream and further elevating her career. Savage, just like Say So, became a cultural moment with its TikTok dance challenge and massive streaming numbers. Later in the year, Cardi and Megan's WAP became one of the most talked about and successful rap collaborations ever. WAP topped the Billboard Hot 100 and broke streaming records. It also sparked conversations around female empowerment and sexual liberation. The 2020s ushered in a new era of diversity and creativity, with the female rappers becoming the genre's mainstream leaders rather than niche players. The women in hip-hop are now winning Grammys, headlining major tours and festivals, and constantly breaking records for chart placements and sales with their multiple #1 singles and albums.
I love it. I think women make hip hop 10 times better. No shade to the men, but the music is more fun. It's just better, and I'm just so happy it's not just the queen just ruling for a decade, and there's finally there's finally other people in this space who are, like you said, getting deals and getting part of the action as well.
I think for me, I also obviously am obsessed with the wide range of female rappers that we have. I do think that for a long time, we were really stuck in an era, and I actually don't think that this is specific to women in hip hop. I think this is specific to hip hop in general, where, okay, we have something we like, and now let's produce as many carbon copies of that thing that we like as possible. But my favorite part of what's happening with women in hip hop right now in particular is the full range of artists that we are getting to see. And even within artists who maybe on the surface might seem like they are, similar to someone else, there's something a little bit different about them, right? So obviously, right, we can think, we had our OG like Rico Nasty, right? Like Rico is an OG in this, right? So Rico Nasty has been in this for a while. But then if we, again, jump to this kind of 2020s, right? Then we have people like Tia Korean, who made Freaky T, right? Completely different aesthetic. We have somebody like Mona Leo, who plays with all of these different worlds of horror and like kind of really like this anti-hero, this villain kind of persona. And then obviously we have folks like Doechii. So I think that we have such a range of like personas, and that is what makes it fun and exciting to be in the space right now. And I mean, honestly, even thinking about somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, she's obviously this huge, big artist right now, but there is something very bespoke about the fact that Megan is constantly and very unapologetically saying, no, here's my favorite anime. And me and Pierre So Ghetto, we don't never know who the hell she talking to. No, we don't know none of them references, right? But the fact that she continues to put them into the music, and it's like, no, this is the type of girl that I'm into. After I run through the mall with your daddy, I'ma watch some anime.
The collaborations didn't stop there though. The new generation of female rappers have been joining forces to create chart-topping hits and fun cultural moments. From Saweetie and Doja Cat's viral anthem Best Friend celebrating female friendship, to Glorilla and Cardi B's top 10 hit Tomorrow 2, and Doechii and JT's alter ego club banger, the rap girls have been highlighting pure fun and the importance of sisterhood.
Well, I have to get this out, because while WAP was definitely a cultural reset that deserves all of its flowers, sorry, but the chokehold that Tomorrow 2 had the girls in when Cardi linked up with Glow, that really was a moment where Glorilla was kind of stamped, right? It felt like this old school moment where you have this more seasoned rapper do this collab with you and kind of say like, okay, you stamp now, I rock with you, I see what you're doing, you are kind of coming up next. And like, obviously Cardi had worked with a lot of rap girls before that. There wasn't anything unique about the collab, but I just think the way it felt, I don't know if it's because Glorilla had flew out to the projects in New York with Cardi or whatever, it felt like she was in her hood, but and just the vibe of the song, it was a diss track. Like Cardi kind of popped out. We didn't even know that Cardi was beefing with City Girls, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, the girls are. That was just a moment. It felt very hip hop. That's what it is. Tomorrow 2 felt very hip hop. It had the streets on lock, and comparing it to the success of WAP, right? Those are two different types of success, but both very, very great examples of successful collaborations.
Yeah, I agree. This weekend at the football tournament, the Glorilla and Sexy Red song was on, and somebody on the sideline was just like, Glorilla don't miss. When you think about that and all of the collabs Glorilla did this past year or whatever. She just really don't. The song with Sexy Red, all of her songs with Megan Thee Stallion, her songs with Cardi. I love Glorilla. I really want that 4-girl collaboration, that ladies night. Like, I want it so bad. I don't know from who, but I want it. And that's a dream collab of me. I just want 4 tough, set it off type girls to just give us what we need, and I'll be happy.
However, female rap is not always unified. Beefs and feuds are sometimes fueled by personal differences, the competitive nature of the music industry, and by social media and fan bases amplifying these tensions. I would even argue that some of these conflicts can be strategically managed for publicity and marketing.
If they're marketing themselves, I appreciate it. I wish some of the girls logged out. All of them, Crystal.
All of them.
The queen of rap. I love, like, right now she's on a Twitter hiatus, and it's nothing. It's dust. No one's arguing. It's nothing.
Well, it's always Nicki's fault, so I would say probably Nicki is the
not start. It's Martin Luther King Day. I actually hate seeing Nicki in beef. It makes me want to vomit because she is the queen of rap. Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap. I think her and Cardi, I think they're both mothers now, and it is tired. But they will still go at it for some. I'm like, what? You know those girls in the hood that still fighting after 30 years? Like, girl, you still mad at her? Like, it's been 30 years. Your kids got kids. How you still don't like old girl from down the block? So I hate when Nicki and Cardi still get into it. I love that both of them are now beefing with other people, but they will still find time to be like, oh, and I ain't forget about you.
Because I think it's become so messy. The best example that Pierre ever gave on this topic is that Nicki and Cardi have like created a divide amongst the rap girls. It's basically like the AKAs versus Deltas. Like, this is just a cultural, you have to pick a side. It's like Crips or Bloods, AKAs, Deltas. It's literally just like one of those things. And a lot of the rap girls, I think, even when they try to come in neutral, they eventually end up getting caught in the crossfires of which one of those sides you are going to fall on. Because no matter what side you go to, the other side is going to end up with a problem. Now, in my personal opinion, I think based on the raw data that we have, what we can say is that I do think that, if you go with Team Nicki, there is the expectation that you stay. I think that there are girls, i.e. Megan Thee Stallion, who thought that they could be diplomatic. That, I love both of these women and I'm happy I did a song with her. And then also I got the opportunity to do a song with her. And it just so happens that this one was way more successful. Nicki and Cardi's beef that started before the mid-decade, Crystal, right? This started in the later 2010s, right? The way it has still carried on so thick into this new decade, which is also crazy to think about. You literally been beefing for almost a decade at this point.
Yeah.
Had everything to do with Megan Thee Stallion. I actually think that like Megan Thee Stallion has played a huge part in not intentionally, but I think that just her as a figure, because Megan Thee Stallion was the next rapper who came along who could not only rap as good as Nicki, who was also as popular as Cardi, right? And who was seeing the results of that. Like Megan Thee Stallion was actually headed on a trajectory to be as famous as both of them as well. And I think that Nicki saw, because we all have eyes. Nicki saw the opportunity. Oh, this girl, she has something. I want to collab with her. I want to work with her. They collaborate. They do Hot Girl Summer. It's an absolutely terrible song. Why would you put a man on a song called Hot Girl Summer? I don't understand it. Her star continues to rise. Cardi is like, I would also like to work with you. I also see your star. I also think that you're dope. I see that you're coming up. They collaborate and they make WAP, and it becomes a global phenomenon. Like WAP changed culture in the pandemic. It just did. And I think that particular body of work, that particular song, and the success of that, I think, was really the first time not that all of us, including Nicki, had to grapple with the fact that, like, yeah, Nicki, you're not the only bitch that can move units like that anymore. Because I think before that, Nicki could really always stand on, okay, I know you bitches are popular, and even you think you come and you might be able to move units or whatever, but I'm the queen of rap, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had a run that you bitches cannot touch, y'all ain't gonna never sell as much as me, and then you make a song, and then Cardi had already kind of broken some of Nicki's records. Cardi had already gotten Grammys, but then they go and do it again together, and it was like, Cardi got to have the moment that, like, really broke Megan's career. Like, that was Megan's crossover moment. And Cardi basically did something else that Nicki was not able to do. And I think that like reignited the beef in, like, such a different way, because I'm like, Nicki has been tight about that ever since. And now there's this and now it's like, you know, we know our girl Nicki is a little paranoid. So now it's like this constant paranoia from Nicki, where it's like every new bitch that come up, Nicki feel like she can't trust them. And what are they gonna do with her? Because she is Sagittarius, she's taking everything personally, right? Yeah. Like, I think that Megan Thee Stallion has just, you know, because I think that Megan is number 3. Honestly, like, if we think about it, it was Nicki, queen of rap. If we think about it, then it was Cardi, who was the person who came right after Nicki in terms of being that successful, being that big. Megan is number 3. Megan is right after them, right? And I think that we're seeing that, like, the girls that are coming in number 4 and number 5, a lot of them are aligning themselves a little bit more with Cardi, because I think when they try to align themselves with Nicki, it just never works out.
Nonetheless, the girls are doing a great job at building fan bases by using social media platforms to enhance their visibility, engage with audiences, and establish their personal brands.
It's pretty good. Doechii is an internet girly, and I love how she promotes it. I love how she used Instagram Reels and stuff like that. Cardi is an internet girly. I kind of wish she pulls back from the internet sometimes. Nicki, I wish she pull back from the internet. I think a lot of them, I wish they pull back.
I want to approach this from 2 perspectives, because I think some of the ways that rap girls are utilizing social media for marketing purposes is actually about stan culture, right? And it's about this kind of community of folks who kind of mobilize around a certain artist. And then there's the other side of how are the artists themselves using social media, and how is that either furthering or hurting kind of the brand and the image. And I have to agree with Pierre, where on that kind of personal front, there are a lot of artists who we wish would log off, and if we have to speak on it just from the perspective of what it says about their artistry and their brand, I think a lot of it is because what we're seeing of you on social media does not align with the artist that you sold us on in the music, right? Yeah. So, like, Cardi, we followed you for Gangsta Bitch Music Volume 1 and for What's Poppin' and for, Invasion of Privacy, and that you was this regular girl from the Bronx. And now a lot of what we seeing is you online arguing with your baby daddy / husband, right? Same thing with Nicki, right? Like, you're the queen of rap, but every time you're on the internet, it's chaos. Right? People are, and all the rap girls are arguing with each other. But on the flip side, I want to talk about some girls who I think carry it well. I think Santana, for example, Saucy Santana, the way Saucy Santana's personality comes across on social media, it's exactly who I think Santana is in their music. I would say similarly for Carisha. Some of this has to do with what these artists' relationships are with their fan bases. And I think that the fatal mistake that any artist makes regarding their use of social media is getting too in bed and too invested in the discourse that's happening about them, either from their fan base or from other fan bases. this is something that so many people need to learn from Beyonce, Giselle Knowles. Baby, don't talk to us. Just don't talk to us. Don't talk to us. Like it just is, everything will work out better when you don't talk to us. So yeah, but the stan wars, and I think the stan culture around female rap and the pressure to have that is its own monster and its own beast. We've actually done an episode exclusively about that on First Verse, about stan culture and, you know, whether it's hurting or harming the girls.
Like, I wish a lot of the girls understood, like, organic social, like, marketing. Like,
Yes.
one of the, like, I think City Cinderella, that era, as well as Nicki's tour, the Gag City, all of that was so organic, and it blew up both of those tours. Nicki, she had Burger King and the Empire State. She had everybody turning pink organically. None of her team planned this. Nobody and people were showing up like ready to go to Gag City, and that had nothing. She didn't plan that.
Not even the name of the album.
Not even the name of the album. Same with City Cinderella. The girl show. Did you wear a tutu to the show? The girls.
I did not, but more girls should have, honestly.
And it's smart of JT to post those things, because it's organic. It makes other people say, "Oh, when I go to see her, I'm gonna wear my tiara. I'm gonna wear my tutu," and it actually makes more people go. More people want to get involved. Same with Beyonce. I know we're talking about rap, but everybody on mute. Look around, everybody. People were going to the concert just to mute, just to. They were waiting for that part. That's all organic social media. And that happens when you engage only with the positive part of people and not worry about like the negative people.
Because of this, female rappers have secured numerous high-profile brand partnerships and deals. Saweetie is the perfect example. While she may not be a Billboard powerhouse, her presence has afforded her collaborations. She has partnered with several major brands for fashion collections and launched a signature meal with McDonald's. Another example is Megan Thee Stallion, known for her commitments to fitness and wellness, teaming up with Planet Fitness. She also signed a global ambassador deal with Revlon, a collaboration with Nike, and partnered with Popeyes to release the Hottie sauce and become a franchise owner. Then there's Cardi B and her many partnerships like Reebok, record-breaking clothing collections with Fashion Nova, and the launch of her own line of vodka-infused whipped cream called Whip Shots, which keeps shattering sales expectations and continues to grow with the nationwide expansion. And it's not just the mainstream heavy hitters with the deals. Smaller artists are also being approached by brands and getting opportunities to star in campaigns in different industries.
One of my favorite business girls is Carisha. She's really slept on a lot when it comes to, like, when people think of business and deals and stuff like that. Carisha is often left out the conversation. And I can't go to any ghetto game night without people pulling out Carisha's Roulette. Her TV show, like, she is packaged so well. I think when it comes time for her to pivot, because I think she will, and if she was smart, she will. When it comes time for her to pivot from rap, I think she has set herself up so great to be that Queen Latifah, to just show up on our screens and essentially take a 30-inch bust down, being the equalizer or something like that. And Cardi, she will soon be richest female rapper. I got a feeling. Her with the whip shot stuff, it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. They just collabed with a vodka brand, and I'm like, oh, Cardi is setting herself up to be the richest female rapper. So.
The fact that this girl keeps working the way she does, it gags me. Saweetie is like, baby, they say the devil is busy, but Kris Jenner is busier. I think that Saweetie's team is busier than that. Because when you just look at the way Saweetie's music is not as, consumed as some of the other, you know what I mean? Like the deals that Saweetie is able to get, and the way that Saweetie has just been able to market herself as like this kind of boss chick, even though her literal tag is like pretty bitch music. There is something just so fascinating about that. But the reason I think that is because Sweetie spent a few years as a vlogger, and like an actual like YouTube vlogger. Icy Life was like one of my favorite vlog series to watch on YouTube. She definitely stole it from Hottie World, which is Megan Thee Stallion's vlog series. Don't get no tea, no shade, but no tea, no shade. But I will say Sweetie's is better because Sweetie's personality, I think, she like takes us to like the shoot. She's like, okay, I'm filming this, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. Like when she had her university course, I think it was in collaboration with like Cash App or something, or she was like teaching the girls about like money management and stuff. We would like go to those shoots. We would go to her. She was planning a birthday party. She was dating Quavo at the time, so there are a lot of videos with them together. It was literally like a full picture of her life, which is actually very difficult for an artist to do, I think. But she like invested in a camera person, but I do think that really paid off with her. But I also think Sweetie is just hardworking, and I think Sweetie shows up, and I think Sweetie looks the part. It's definitely pretty privileged. It's definitely a lot of light skin privilege and a lot of being able to Sweetie almost is like a blank canvas. So I think whatever it is that Sweetie wants to do at any given moment,
consumers will be like, oh, okay.
Consumers will be like, oh, okay, we like it. Advertisers will be like, oh, okay, we like it. You know, like when she popped out with 90, 90, 90, you know, like that song has a life of its own at places Pierre and I don't be, but it has a life of its own and it's doing things, you know, like, and it's insane. And then in 2 weeks, she'll come back with some shit that me and Pierre know. We'd be like, oh, okay, Sweetie kind of ate this one little thing.
The modern-day female rap aesthetic is distinct and dynamic, with each artist curating her own unique style. While there isn't a single defining look, many embrace similar trends that reflect the culture's spirit. They've been blending high fashion, streetwear, and experimental styles, and embracing hyper-feminine elements like form-fitting outfits, elaborate hairstyles, long nails, and exaggerated makeup that a lot of times pay homage to the 1990s and 2000s fashion and pop culture trends. However, artists like Cardi B, Doja Cat, Rico Nasty, and Doechii tend to push the envelope further than the rest.
Some major stylist, major wardrobe person went to a ball in New York and saw the dolls, and baby, every single rap girl looked like one of the girls from the ballroom scene from head to toe. That's why JT had to put in her songs, I'm pretty like a transgender, because all of y'all dress just like them.
The makeup, the wigs,
the
like
surgery,
all of that,
like
all of that came from the dolls.
They look like the dolls, literally, and all of them. Not even just the rappers, all of the girlfriends, all of the reality stars, everybody. They all look like the dolls. Don't be so bad. Oh my God.
I know. A lot of the rap girls just want to look like rich housewives because they feel like that fits the aesthetic of, you know, them being able to like be the baddest in the room and pull niggas with money. But then you also have the girls who just kind of want to be the baddest in the hood, and it becomes this thing where it's about like what is the most like provocative and like explosive version of this outfit. A lot of artists these days are not investing in stylists who understand how to take them from moment to moment and event to event. They're putting them in the same type of everywhere. Yeah, I think the wardrobe sometimes just reflects a lack of creativity in the overall artist development, because like, for example, with Ice Spice, like how many music videos is she gonna make where it's like, okay, her posted up on the block in front of everybody who lives on the block, you know, or her in the bodega, or her in the right. So like, we're not seeing a lot of opportunities for her to even have on a different outfit because she's not playing with different like worlds and like characters in her brand persona. And I do think that is a problem for a lot of female artists, especially kind of those mid-tier artists, which was why JT was so refreshing when she came out.
As for the music, the last three are also known to blend different genres, while Glorilla, Lotto, Megan, and Sexy Red stay true to the raw Southern sound, and the girls up north play around with the drill sound. When it comes to performances, female rappers bring the full package compared to most of their male counterparts. While male rappers often stick to pacing back and forth on stage with a mic in hand, the rap girls are serving choreography, energy, fashion, visuals, and theatrics on elaborate sets. The women in hip-hop also have a wide range of lyrical themes that reflect their individuality, creativity, and lived experiences. They often deliver bold, self-assured lyrics and independence, self-worth, and success. Other prominent lyric themes include wealth and luxury, relationships, social commentary, and sexual liberation. However, over-sexualization of female rappers is a recurring topic in modern rap. While many female artists use their sexuality as a form of empowerment, they face criticism for potentially reinforcing stereotypes or overshadowing their talent. Some would even argue that it reduces their artistry to shock value. On the other hand, many come to their defense, pointing out the double standards, arguing that reclaiming it is a form of power.
First of all, the criticism is tired. Okay, like it's at this point, it's just tired. Like, give it up. Like, quite literally in the history of hip hop, we have literally never said, "Oh my God, I wish these men would stop talking about their dicks," because I cannot listen. I cannot name a song. And, unless we're talking about like Kendrick Lamar or somebody, right, where we can get through the song without hearing somebody that a man has slept with, right? And so I truly don't understand. Like, to me, there is no difference in terms of like the substance of what the girls are talking about in their music versus what the substance of what boys are talking about in their music. The girls talking about getting money, the boys talking about getting money, the girls talking about having sex, the boys talking about having sex. Whether or not it is a political statement, it is. Whether or not the girls know it is a different conversation, but it is whether they know it or not. And the reason it is simply because we live in a patriarchal culture. There is no way around it, period. We live in a sexist culture, wanting to deny and shame women for being in control of their own sexuality, of guiding the conversation around their own sexuality. And so whether or not female artists feel as though they are making a political statement is kind of irrelevant. The reason why people with female rap in the particular ways they do is because it's refreshing. So like, and that's also why the argument that it's too much, it's too hypersexual is tired, because 100 more bitches could come out talking about their pussy and it still wouldn't be enough to actually curtail the continuous attacks on reproductive justice. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm mad that the girls not taking the sex talk further. I want more raps about how y'all going to get y'all birth control prescriptions filled. I want more raps about how y'all going to get abortions. I want more raps about how, which is one of the things I love about my good sister Megan. I love a bitch that rap about how like, oh yeah, you mad because I made you use a condom. It's clear that Black women are not taking from that information what we need to, because Black women still represent the highest rate of new HIV cases, right? Black women are still disproportionately represented when we talk about intimate partner violence. Black women are still, you know what I mean? So like, there's this idea that like women are somehow like running shit now, when like that actually is not true. We still have a very, very long way to go. But I do think that the girls who are smart and the girls who really resonate with their fan bases, like I think somebody like a Megan Thee Stallion, are those girls who just understand what it means, right? Like someone like Cardi. I think Cardi has been able to do so well because Cardi can rap about this and then also talk about like what the ramifications are, right? But I do think that is what separates folks like Doechii, folks like Cardi, folks like Megan from maybe other folks I won't name who will just say the shit in the rap and then get off the song and say, oh, I just said the shit in the rap.
I think Megan names gets brought up in the war so much because Megan is one of those political people. Megan is on the smarter end of the spectrum where she knows the power of her pussy. And what people don't understand is that is scary to these men. That is scary to these men, and that is scary to these women who play into these respectability politics. Megan is one of those people like, you're not coming over here to me, I'm you. Nothing shows or tells us that men own her body. When you listen to her music, she's like, I'm deciding to give you this. And when I give it to you, I'm done with you. Now you can get out my face. all of our lives, we have heard men rap about this and doing this to women, and we have said nothing. Absolutely nothing. You hear a woman saying the exact same thing, and people are like, oh, she's talking about her pussy too much. Yeah, Megan is one of those political girlies who I have to stand. I want her to me. Shit.
The girls continue to redefine what success and talent look like in the genre. Artists like Coil Ray, Sexy Red, Saweetie, and Ice Spice have been at the forefront of conversations surrounding the balance between internet hype and genuine artistry. These women have mastered the art of leveraging social media to amplify their careers, creating viral moments, dance trends, and catchy hooks that dominate platforms like TikTok. But critics often question whether their popularity is driven by more personality, image, and internet buzz, rather than lyrical depth and technical skill. This debate raises larger questions about how the rap landscape is evolving and whether virality is becoming the new marker of success.
One of my arguments I always will make, for every trash female rapper, throwaway female rapper, I can name 3 trash, throwaway male rappers. So I love the fact that we have female rappers of all sorts. I love all type of female rappers because we have all type of male rappers. So I love those little one-hit wonders because we get those in the male rap world. We get a new male rapper every now and then, and he make one hot song, and then we never see him again. So I love when we get a female rapper to come in, make her little one hot song. Cecily used to like this girl by the name of Ice Spice, right? And Ice Spice had this song. It was just popular. And I don't think Cecily, we just liked it. It was just a little cute little na-na-na, 1, 2 around the house, nada, yada, yada. And Ice Spice she just kept going. She was in the Barbie soundtrack and she was getting all these deals and stuff. And Cecily was like, wait, hold on. What is going on? What is going on? You bring up Sexy Red. Sexy Red was one of these people who I'm thinking I'm just about to twerk to for a little cute 1-2 for a summer. But then Sexy Red kept going. So I think we're now living in this new age where your viral sensation can also get you a little bit of longevity. Versus back in the day, people had to work.
We host First, the only podcast exclusively about the girls and the gays rap. So when a new girl comes up, I always at least want to give her a chance. Mm-hmm. The reason Sexy Red and Ice Spice are always in the same conversation is because Sexy Red and Ice Spice both launched their careers on kind of a gimmick. It was the idea of a munch because it was such I don't even know if I would call it regionally specific. I think it was just specific to Ice Spice and her little crew of friends. Like nobody even knew what a munch was. We had no clue what she was talking about. She had the Annie wig on. We just, you know what I mean? Like all of it was just very, wait, what the is going on? Like, you know, and then, but she had a fat butt. So niggas also liked her. And I think the same thing with Sexy Red. It was like, excuse me, your is what and your what is brown? Like, I beg your pardon. Like, you know what I mean? It was like this kind of like shock gimmicky moments. And the reason why I gave both of those artists a chance is because there are a lot of artists who come out kind of gimmicky and then have some fucking tricks up their sleeves. I think the best example of that is Doja Cat. Doja actually never played with us. Doechie's viral moment was crazy, and that she came out with the best music video I had ever seen. I was like, what the hell? Doechii never played with us. But Doja Cat, on the other hand, that bitch came out with a song that's called Moo, that she wrote and recorded the video for in 6 hours in her bedroom on a green screen. Quite literally about what it sounds like. Cow references, hamburgers, milkshakes, cow shit. She had on a cow outfit, right? Extremely gimmicky. And guess what? Doja is one of the most talented bitches in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a viral gimmicky moment can be the thing that like opens up a door for you, right? Like it can be the thing that kind of gets you there. And then it's like, okay, like, let's see what else. I wanted to see what else from Ice Spice, and I also wanted to see what else from Sexy Red. Here is the difference. I'm gonna tell you why Sexy Red has had more staying power than Ice Spice right now.
Okay.
Ice Spice's genre of music itself is a gimmick. I think that New York drill is like this really interesting blend of like Jersey club music, and like it actually has nothing. To me, sonically, it sounds nothing like
Afro beat.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but to me, that whole genre is very new and still evolving as a sound. It's just not as established of a genre. Her flow, her wordplay, all of those things are kind of non-existent, if you will. Similarly with Sexy Red. Sexy Red's lyricism or, you know, the content of her songs has not changed since she dropped Pound Town. However, Sexy Red's sound is rooted in a very classic style of trap music that already has a 20-year legacy. Sexy Red is making references to Gucci Mane. Sexy Red is making connections to like a very real culture of hip hop that has a soul and a spirit of its own already. It's like everything about Ice Spice is of the internet. Like Ice Spice is Gen Z. Like she as far as I'm concerned, Ice Spice is like the Gen Z avatar, right? Whereas like Sexy Red's gimmick is like, oh, who is this ghetto bitch? And then it's like you keep listening. It's like, no, this. So like, why don't she deserve a spot at the mic? Why wouldn't she be rapping like this? Why wouldn't she be talking about this? Everything about her kind of makes sense and it aligns and is connected with the musical tradition. To answer your question, that is the difference. What is the gimmick leading up to? And you have to lead us into something else. And I don't think that Ice Spice ever did that. So she was always set up to kind of only last as long as like whatever, you know, the latest viral TikTok video is, a year or two, you know, where people reference it.
But how would we rank these women? And who's gonna be around in the future? Here's how we'll be ranking these artists on the pyramid. The first category is under the radar. These are the girls who are making waves in smaller circles with growing potential but limited mainstream exposure, or at least for now. Second is cult following and breakthrough artists. This tier features the rap girls who have carved out dedicated fan bases or achieved breakout moments, solidifying their presence in the industry. The third tier is built to last. These are the girls with staying power that have proven they're here for the long run. And finally, the elite tier, cultural architects and game changers, is reserved for rappers reshaping the industry and redefining the culture through their impact, innovation, and dominance. Let's dive in and see where the rap girls stand. Coi Leray, the daughter of rapper and media personality Benzino, gained attention in 2018 with her breakout track Huddy and her debut mixtape. She rose to mainstream fame in 2021 with her viral single No More Parties, which earned her a Billboard Hot 100 hit and a double platinum certification. Her 2022 single Blick Blick featuring Nicki Minaj achieved similar chart success and set the stage for her debut album, Trendsetter. Later that year, her hit single Players climbed into the top 10 on Billboard Hot 100 and earned platinum certification and became the lead single for her sophomore album, Koi. Additionally, her 2023 collaboration Baby Don't Hurt Me with David Guetta and Anne-Marie entered the top 20 of the UK singles chart. But people still feel like Coi Leray is just a throwaway artist.
Cause girls is players too. Yeah, that was my.
I can't say that Coi Leray is under the radar because
nowhere on that pyramid for me.
It's like she's just not on here for me. I mean, people like comment like, "What y'all think about Coi Leray?" This, what y'all think? Baby, we didn't think about it because like there is nothing about Coi Leray music that like speaks to me. And I will say, in Coi Leray's defense, I don't think that's because like she doesn't have talent, but I also think that like Coi Leray's status as a rapper is like questionable to me. A lot of her music feels like it's in a different genre. Like, you know, she sings a lot and some of it feels a little like alternative, like rock, like she plays with like that, like rock hip. I don't know.
I always say that I'm not the target audience. I feel like if they wanted me to find them, their music will find me. The people that's listening to Coi Leray, that's who she's making music for, because that's how the music is. Coi Leray ain't making songs for me. That's why I ain't.
And I used to actually do this series on my TikTok. I need to bring it back. I used to do a series on my TikTok called Makes Music For. And I would always do like, okay, this female rapper makes music for like this type of people. And I would just list down, it would be like ubiquitous facts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Lotto make music for like girls who work in nursing programs, right? Or like, I think, Lotto, or I think Flo Milli makes music for girls who used to run track in high school. You know what I mean? Like, just really like random things, right? But they're accurate. And the reason I've never done one on Coi Leray is because I just don't fucking know. So I don't know what to do with her. But I really wouldn't say she's under the radar. I think when you get a Nicki feature, you just that automatic by default, unless you wanted them no name she be working with, like, I feel like by default, once you get a Nicki feature as a female rapper, you're not really under the radar. No. I say we just keep her off the pyramid.
Saweetie gained initial recognition in 2017 with her debut single Icy Girl, which went viral on social media and showcased her signature glamorous style. Saweetie increased her presence in hip-hop with hits like My Type, Tap In, and Best Friend featuring Doja Cat, which achieved commercial success and widespread popularity. For her debut studio album, Pretty Bitch Music has faced numerous delays, and people feel like her music lacks substance.
She is definitely a cult favorite, in my opinion. I'm gonna go like far back to like the Whitney Houstons and people like that. When you think about people who weren't all like, everything isn't a #1 single, everything wasn't a platinum record, everything wasn't Grammys, but we still listen to those things today. We can't get with our best friends without saying, that's my best friend, she a real bad bitch. Like, that's gonna be around. That's my type, nigga. That's gonna be around. That ain't on nobody's chart, ain't nobody's Grammy nominated, like, but that's gonna always be around. So that's where she at in my book. And plus her deals, like I always talk about her meal at McDonald's. Like, I just thought that was the craziest thing in the world. But it was so smart on her behalf. She definitely ain't under the radar. Saweetie.
Well, and I think this is going to be a controversial opinion.
Uh-oh.
This is why I actually think Saweetie should be under like cultural architects and game changers.
That's crazy.
Because listen, hear me out. It's real brief. I do think that if we're talking about who has been the best at kind of being mediocre and finding longevity in that and finding a lot of success, it kind of is Saweetie. I think that Saweetie is who a lot of us thought Cardi was going to be. I think a lot of people thought that Cardi was like, we did not expect for Cardi to make the contributions to hip hop that she did. We did not expect to hear Cardi do all these different things with different genres in her music and to be a fashion pioneer in the way that she was. Like, Cardi has offered things to the music game and to rap that I think a lot of people did not expect. I don't think that Saweetie has done those things. But Saweetie has figured out something that I think a lot of girls who rap a lot better than her still need to fucking learn. I'm sorry. And I think she's also one of the best examples of it. No matter how a little bit of I don't care if Saweetie sells 2 records. Guess what? She gonna get one of these brands on the phone and figure out how to get them to pay some money so she can still invest in having a good video. Saweetie ain't never finna say, okay, well, I'll just go to my hood and have all this come out and I'm gonna put me a cute outfit on and that's gonna be the music video. No, she's never gonna do that. Like, Saweetie understands her personal brand, I think, better, honestly, I'm gonna say, than a lot of these girls on this pyramid. And I would say for that reason, she deserves to be cultural architect and game changer. This is not because she's the best rapper. This is not because she has the highest sales. But I think Saweetie has like figured out a formula and made that work.
Mm-hmm.
in a way that she deserves her. It's like she's the best C average student ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ever. She the best to ever do this C average like, and I gotta give her a 10 for that.
So you said C average. Would that still put her to the very top? And you even brought up her sales.
I don't think that there's going to be like an upward trajectory for, like, I think that Sweetie's always going to be right where she is, which is not low, right? So like, I don't think she's going to be the next big anything. I think Sweetie is what she is, and I think this is what Sweetie is going to do. I think if we see Sweetie go up, it's going to be in a completely different genre. I don't think it's going to be in music at all. Like, now if Sweetie, you know, influencing beauty, fashion, whatever it is, but I don't think it's going to be over. She's broken through. Baby girl has already broken through. Like, she's not a breakthrough artist, and I don't think it's like a cult favorite thing. I think Sweetie has something that relates to a lot of people. That's why big brands like McDonald's are comfortable like writing that check. I think she's just a cultural architect and a game changer in a different way.
Be right where she belongs. Keep her right there, okay?
Well, we should have named the pyramid A+, B+, C average, D minus, and then I would have known where to put her.
Then we have Sexy Red, the St. Louis rapper known for her unapologetically ghetto lyrics, catchy hooks, and raw, unfiltered personality. She gained attention in 2022 with her viral hit single Pound Town, followed by a remix featuring Nicki Minaj in 2023, which further propelled her into the mainstream. Sexy's mixtape Hood Hottest Princess continued to propel her forward with tracks like Ski Yee and Looking for the Hoes. Throughout 2023 and 2024, she was featured on a number of tracks, including Drake's Rich Baby Daddy. But with all the hype, the question remains, is she destined for lasting stardom or just a moment in the industry?
She going right next to her Sweetie, right?
Yeah, she's next to Sweetie. Yeah, she's next to Sweetie.
One of the things I do when I'm ranking these people, I'm just looking at the other categories, and I know for a fact I don't want to say for a fact, but I don't see her as being the next big star. She's definitely not under the radar, and I don't see her as like one of the game changers or cultural architects. But I do see her as a cult favorite. I do see her as one of those breakthrough artists. When she came out, I couldn't get enough of Sexy Red. Like, and I still can't. She still has a little fire under her. But the way this world moves, I think by this summer or next, you know, now that Drake and everyone is done with her and she has her major features, I see it just soon dying out. And that's no shade. Oh, I love when they prove us wrong. JT did. I thought JT was done, but she was like, oh, not yet. Not yet.
Actually don't think Sexy Red is using a gimmick either. I think that the reason I think Sexy Red is, I agree that I do think that Sexy Red is peaked, but I think some of it is not all her fault. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Sexy Red is a gimmick. I think that we've come to the realization that, like, no, there are bitches who are really this fucking ghetto, and that actually makes us uncomfortable as a culture, and I shouldn't say us. That makes a lot of people uncomfortable, that there are bitches that really are this hood, and maybe what that comes with, that she is not as, you know, informed on certain issues, that she is not as invested in, you know, political issues.
She voted for Trump because Trump gave us,
you know, because, you know, like, yeah, I mean, but the truth
lip
is
gloss
that, like,
named gonorrhea. Like,
and I think that there is only going to be a certain level, and especially now where the culture is doing a complete reversal on kind of our interest in diverse stories, or basically Black women's culture, which they spent the last 15 years stealing and excavating, and now they're kind of moving on to something else, right? Like, so I do agree. I think Sexy Red is right where she needs to be, but I think some of that speaks to like the problems with our culture, not necessarily, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I can listen to Sexy Red all fucking day. Every Sexy Red mixtape that she dropped I'm gonna give it a couple spins, because guess what? I'm a bitch who grew up on trap music. I love trap music. Like the fact that she really leans into this like female Gucci Mane type sound, that's all me. Like I'm back in my 2007 Grand Prix smoking Black and Miles, right? Like that's where I belong. And there are a lot of people who are like that, and there are a lot of people who are gonna resonate, but there is only a certain level of exposure that she is going to be able to get because of that. The only way that she would be able to move up would be to kind of polish up, and then she would literally lose all of that authenticity and that realness. Anything else that she could do wouldn't feel as good because it wouldn't be as real. Cardi was like, yeah, I be working a strip club. Here's how I get my money, but like I'm trying to do other shit too because I'm not trying to strip forever. Like that was always Cardi's story. We got Sexy Red as a fully formed like you get what I'm saying? Like, no, bitch, Sexy Red is still very much invested in hood and culture, right? Like Sexy Red probably using some of this rap money to fuel a fucking gun cartel in St. Louis right now, for all we know. Like, we don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, she really, that is really a street bitch. I think she just really like that.
She just ghetto.
And like, I think she's ghetto in the way that makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
Then we have Flo Milli, who is known for her witty lyrics, confident delivery, and playful energy. She gained attention in 2019 with her viral breakout single, B-Flow Mix. It became a hit on TikTok and established her as a rising star. In 2020, Ho, Why Is You Here, earned critical acclaim featuring standout tracks like In the Party and May I. Her debut album, You Still Here, Ho, received positive reviews but did not chart. The album included the single Conceited, which earned her gold certification. Her second studio album, Fine Ho, Stay, was led by the single Never Lose Me, marking her first entry on the US Billboard Hot 100, where it peaked within the top 20. Despite consistent critical acclaim for her music, why isn't Flo Milli achieving the same level of commercial success?
Under the radar.
As Cecily just said, definitely under the radar. It's so crazy that Flo Milli in this household, in right here, in this apartment, she's a regular. She's a household name over here. But I can't go outside of my apartment and converse with people about Flo Milli. I just can't. That's just the real world. Like, people, there are still lots of people who have no idea who Flo Milli is, who have no idea what's the hit song, who have no idea. A lot has to do with colorism, but I'm gonna get there when we get to Doechii. Flo Milli is that girl. And every time I bring her up, I'm not even able to compliment her. I'm more so like trying to pressure people into listening to her and like telling people they're sleeping on Flo Milli. Like, how you don't know Flo Milli? So she's definitely under the radar. She has fans, she has great songs, but more people should know about Flo Milli than they do Sexy Red. More people should know about Flo Milli than they do Sweet. But that's just not reality.
I agree on all fronts, and I'm not gonna hold you. I don't think that Flo Milli is doing enough to set herself apart.
Oh, is she pregnant?
She's pregnant. Actually, a couple of people on this. Coyle Ray's pregnant too, by Trippie Redd, apparently. You know, for a long time, I was like, you know what? Yeah, like the way the colorism, you know, because here's the thing. Like, when we talk about pretty privilege, when we talk about colorism, and when we talk about any type of privilege like that, what we're talking about are people who get ahead and get to move in ways where they don't deserve it, right? So it's about like being able to go far with mediocrity, right? And it's unfair that you get to go far with mediocrity, right? Because you're light skinned. And I do think that at the beginning for Flo, it was like, and you're so much better than these like, you should be far ahead because you're not mediocre. But I do think that, like, while Flo's bars have never fell off, while Flo is still an amazing lyricist and amazing rapper, I do think that, like, I think when people started to talk about colorism with Flo Milli, she was like, oh my God, y'all need to shut the up. Colorism ain't got to do with why I'm not, y'all, I don't like how
and I would have leaned into that for the sympathy vote.
Because look what JT did. Every other line was pretty black, pretty chocolate skin, pretty dark skin, covered girl, period. You get what I'm saying? Like JT said, okay, bet, like I'm going to lean. Oh, y'all singing Carisha the Pretty one out the room. Okay, bet, yeah, my whole song finna be like pretty than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Flo just started to like, with the exception of her skin tone, it was like she just started to look and like feel like everybody else. I also think, okay, this is gonna sound so crazy. I also think Flo Milli does too many collaborations. Because actually your collaborations get more shine in your projects. So like when she just dropped Fine Ho You Can Stay, we almost forgot to mention it on Purse First because I didn't even know it was coming. I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know it was out. Like it was Tiffany New York Pollard being on the shit that even made me be like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, this is cute. This is cunty. But I just, like I don't feel like Flo Milli is doing enough to like set herself apart. And I know, I understand, I get it. She shouldn't have to work as hard, but I mean, it's also some light skinned on this list put to the gas every time. Some of the most creative in the game. So unfortunately, I do think that Flo Milli is in the right spot.
Next on this list is Latto. She first gained attention in 2016 after winning the inaugural season of The Rap Game, a reality competition series by Jermaine Dupri. Originally performing under the name Miss Mulatto, she rebranded to Latto in 2021. Her breakthrough came in 2020 with her hit single Bitch from the South, followed by her debut album Queen of the South, which featured successful tracks like Muwop with Gucci Mane. Latto's career reached new heights with the 2022 release of her Grammy-nominated single Big Energy, a crossover hit that blended pop and hip-hop elements and topped multiple charts. Latto has since become a leading voice in female rap, earning accolades such as the BET Award for Best New Artist in 2022. With her growing discography and unapologetic confidence, she's established herself as a key figure in the modern hip-hop landscape. But it still feels like Latto is struggling to find her true identity.
Do you see Pierre falling asleep? Pierre does this every time we bring up Latto's name. He fake falls asleep.
It's definitely going to be objectively, but I just want to say that Latto is the most talented, most beautiful, boring girl that I have ever. Like, Latto is just so boring to me. And when I listen to her music, I'm like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so good, but I'm never going to play it again. It's so good. I'm like, oh, she ate that. Turn it off. Like, and that's the only way I can describe it. This girl is so talented. She's one of the best lyricists on this list. On this list, she's one of the best. And she's pretty. And that's it. And I don't know. I think you need to have more. But she's definitely, to me, would be right next to Sexy Red to me. I don't see her being the next big star. And I don't see her as a game changer. And she's not under the radar. Everyone knows Latto. Everyone knows Latto.
I mean, yeah, she did a tour with Lizzo. Like, she toured with Lizzo. Like, it was a huge moment.
Even though she said she didn't know that was Mariah Carey sample. She got a song with Mariah Carey. She got a song with the Mariah Carey and tried to convince us, the world, the smart girls, that she didn't know that was a Mariah Carey sample. And I promise, I think that's the white part of her beat. I don't know. I think that's the boring part. Because everything else, I'm like, she has this package. She is packaged to be great. But as Wendy Williams always say, there is this it factor that some girls just don't have it. Her and Ice Spice is the boring. I've never seen two boring beef like this. Like, I don't care who wins this beef. Like, I don't care. Crystal, they are having a mid-off. Like, who cares? Who cares?
To your point about her identity, I do think that Latto's has an identity crisis issue, which is why I agree with Pierre's place to put her honestly in cult favorite and breakthrough stars. I think that Latto's issue has never been the aesthetic. It has never been the talent. Quite the contrary. It literally is that Latto has not quite figured out who she is, what she wants to say, and why she wants to say it. And I feel like I've seen Lotto rebrand herself, like lightly rebrand herself so many times, and none of it feels original. None of it feels innovative. I mean, the most original and innovative thing about Ice Spice actually is her bars. Like, I honestly feel like Ice Spice would have been better served to do one of two things. Like, first of all, imagine her with the personality of Sweetie. She'd be unstoppable. Oh my God. If Sweetie could rap like Lotto, or if Lotto had Sweetie's personality, oh baby, she'd be unstoppable. She would be unfucking stoppable. Yeah, like I think that Lotto it's an identity thing with her. And I don't know if that is because she grew up biracial in the South. What that is, but it's almost one of those things where it's like you actually too pretty to rap that good, because like I feel like Lotto feels forced to just like rap about how pretty she is, and like you actually rap too good to just rap about that, which is why she comes across as a pick-me.
That whole thing with her and them panties, and she just decides to keep wearing them panties. She's just weird. Ugh.
Next, we have Doechii, celebrated for her lyrical skills and versatile artistry. She first gained recognition in 2020 with her viral hit single, Yucky Blucky Fruitcake. The track caught the attention of major industry players, and in 2022, she signed with Top Dog Entertainment, becoming the label's first female rapper. Her tracks like Persuasive and Crazy further established her as a rising star, with critical acclaim for her bold visuals and storytelling. She earned nominations for BET and MTV Awards, and was named one of Double XL's 2022 freshman class, which is a significant milestone for emerging hip-hop artists. Her 2024 Alligator Bites Never Heal project continued to drive her to the mainstream and earned her 4 Grammy nominations. So where is Doechii headed, and how will this colorist industry affect her in the future?
This is the love of my life.
4-time Grammy nominated Doechii, by the way.
Let me just say, I want a dark-skinned rap girly megastar so bad. So many reasons. Because it is needed. I'm just looking at all of these girls on the picture. Dark-skinned women, when it comes to style, they do it right. And they are the people that are created for these editorials and all. Like, they are the... Like, I'm looking at Doechii's outfit, and I'm like, if Cardi would have wore that, she'll just look like Cardi. But Doechii, and like when Doechii and JT get into these elements, they turn into different people. Like, it's just this magical cast that is, but that only comes with dark skin. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember when the world first discovered like dark skin was beautiful. Like, they put real dark skin men and women on the runway, and people were like, wait, that glowy ass skin, that purple ass skin is beautiful. I remember when the world first discovered that. And I want that so bad for Doechii. Before we get to the talent, this girl is so fine. Like, oh my God. But anyway, Doechii is the next big star. This girl is about to take over the world. And if I have anything to do with it, she about to be the next Missy or something. She's so creative. She's so creative, and you can tell it's all coming from her. You can tell it ain't nobody behind the scenes that's coming up with these ideas, giving it to her. Like Cardi. I love Cardi, but I can always tell that a lot of these things have something to do with her stylist, her writers, her. Doechii, this is just one of those creative bitches that be sitting at home like, I want to do this. Very Left Eye. You know, Left Eye came out with the No Scrub video. Like, just sitting at home on some weird shit. And I love it. I love that Doechii got this alligator and brought it to the party and just passed around a fucking alligator at her damn mixtape release party. That is some sick ass shit. I love Doechii.
I also love Doechii my hesitation actually has nothing to do with how I feel about Doechii. I actually love Doechii too. I think I'm just hesitating to put her under next big stars because I know how I personally feel like colorism works. I feel like it's so fresh. Like, I also feel like right now, like, yeah, she's next big star, but it's like I just start feeling, I don't want to get my hopes up. I feel like I just start feeling that after Alligator Bites Never Heal. And I'm nervous that they are going to, like, Doechii is going to have this moment where she's like, almost like the Rhapsody effect, right? Like for 15, 20 years, everybody been saying Rhapsody the hardest, the best, the actual hip hop rap the best, and she don't get enough shine, but like, do y'all be banning her fucking music? Do y'all want to hear what she has to say? I do think that Doechii does have just like so much creativity, so much personality. Like, I do think that, Doechii could take that further. And also Doechii is the internet girly, you know what I mean? Like, she's very much of that generation. I think that Doechii understands how to position herself in ways that are creative. And I also can see, like, when she just did the sitcom style video for Denali's River, like the people that she's aligning herself with too, like, I think that this is definitely a moment that she could use to like really solidify her spot here. I'm just nervous about it, but she absolutely,
she's very alt. Ain't that what y'all call them? She's
she, in a lot of ways, to me, Doechii is the dark-skinned Doja Cat in terms of talent. Actually, she rap better than Doja Cat, if we be honest, like in terms of pure hip hop rap.
Hip hop, Doja.
Yeah, she raps better than Doja Cat, but I think that creatively, like artistry for artistry, her and Doja are like very, very neck and neck for me.
And then we have Ice Spice, known for her Y2K aesthetic and iconic curly orange hair. She gained initial attention in 2022 with her breakout single Munch, and this became a TikTok phenomenon and solidified her as a rising star. Her music, often categorized as drill rap, reflects her Bronx roots. Ice Spice quickly built on her momentum with hits like Bikini Bottom and her debut EP Like, which featured viral tracks such as In Her Mood. She had collaborations with major artists, including Nicki Minaj on the remix of Princess Diana and Taylor Swift on Karma. She even landed herself on the Barbie soundtrack, which further propelled her into the mainstream. But her career took a nosedive just as quickly as she blew up. Was Ice Spice even a good artist in the first place?
I feel like you was trying to be nice, Crystal, but there should have been a fifth category entitled flop. It should have been flop, then under the radar. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what we could have put Cool Ray.
Yeah.
And Ice Spice would be right next to her. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I don't even feel like I need to explain myself. She did hit her peak with Like. I think even the collaboration with Nicki was just like a little bit of like extra, like a second portion of that, if you will, because even if we're talking about me, I remember I had to confess this on the first podcast, like, because I'm the type of girl, I love Nicki's features. Honestly, way more than I be loving Nicki songs. And I was like, that was not my favorite Nicki feature at all. I actually liked Nicki's feature on Blick 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 with Cool Ray more than I like Nicki's verse on Princess Diana. You know what I mean? I think that what happened to Ice Spice in 2024 is that we realized that she's not an artist, that she has no stage presence, and that she just kind of was just there. Like it was like, oh, we kind of can see behind this curtain a little bit too much, that like this was just some fun TikTok for you that kind of blew up, and now you here. And then after that that happened with Cleo, it was a chop. It was a full chop after the that happened with Cleo. Come to find out,
everybody,
it was a chop.
But I'm gonna say she a cult favorite. I'm just not a part of the cult. But the little kids in elementary and high school.
I have a niece that is a freshman in high school. They do not with Ice Spice, and she done lost weight now too. So the boys don't even like her no more. Honestly, I would put her right next to Cool Ray, not on this fucking chart. I think it's a chop for Ice Spice. She gonna drop some more singles.
She definitely not the next big star.
I think it's a full chop for her. But she not under the radar. So I think she's just not on this pyramid, because I think her and Coil Ray deserves to be in a flop category.
JT is one half of the hip-hop duo City Girls alongside Young Miami. The group gained prominence in 2018 after their feature on Drake's smash hit In My Feelings and their breakout single Act Up, which became a viral anthem. City Girls as a duo were a leading force in modern female rap, even while JT faced legal troubles and served time in prison. JT has since established herself as a solo artist with a string of singles, a national tour, and her successful 2024 City Cinderella mixtape. JT's solo rise in 2024 due to her hard work was one that no one saw coming. But is longevity in her future?
I think she's in the same category with Sexy Red, Lotto, Sweetie, cult favorites, breakthrough artists.
I really appreciated her run, but I think it's done. You know how Cecily was scared to put Doechii in like the next big star. I feel like that is 100% like JT. Like, I know that the world is pretty much done with JT. I know that the industry and the people behind. Yeah, she's right next to Sexy Red and Sweetie and Lotto. But she did good. And if she come out with new stuff, I'll be listening.
And I was at the theater in New York and it was packed out and it was actually amazing. Like,
and that separates artists from people who just want to be famous, for people who just doing it from JT, like you said, rose to this. Okay, JT, we talk about this all the time on Purse First. She surprised Cecily and I so much. Like, I just can't believe how JT just really stepped up and was like, you know what? I'm a rapper. I'm going on tour. I'm a have an album. The album was good. It was a solid piece of work. She went on tour and JT do nothing but rap. All the other girls online crying about they men, beefing with people. JT got in the booth and went on the road. That is an artist. I have nothing to complain about. Nothing. But I don't think she's ever going to be this star that we're thinking of. Like,
because I don't think she desires to be. I don't think that, or not desires to be. I don't think that we're ever gonna see JT play the game like some other girls are willing to play the game.
That is a good way.
Like,
that is
the
a
industry.
good way.
Like baby, JT got PTSD from being in prison, all type of shit. I just don't think that she.
Because to be a star, you have to play into the politics. You have to go on the Jimmy Campbells and the Kimballs and shake hands with the whites. And JT ain't doing all that. JT
you have to like the internet.
You have to like people. You have to go on Tamron Hall and say.
Honestly, that's why we seeing the downfall that we seeing of Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj decided that the industry was against her and conspiring against her, and in some ways she's right, and that's the thing. That's the unfortunate thing about Nicki. The 50, the 40-50% of stuff that she's correct about always is going to be overshadowed because she's so loud about another 60 to 50% of that she's so wrong about, or that's actually her fault. Like, you don't have to treat people so mean and nasty. You don't have to be so paranoid. You can just be, everybody don't owe you the way that you think that you do. And it's become this thing where now Nicki feels like she's bigger than the program. And then now she doesn't have to play the game. And so, now you have an institution like the Recording Academy saying, okay, well, now you're never going to get a Grammy. And now you're not. And that's unfortunate, because for somebody like Nicki came in this wanting to play the game. Nicki wants a Grammy very badly. And like, now she has like opted out of it. And I think JT is actually quite similar to her in that way. And so,
Next, we have Memphis rapper Glorilla, known for her southern charm. She gained widespread attention in 2022 with her breakout hit FNF, an anthem of independence that earned her a Grammy nomination. Her success continued with collaborations like Tomorrow 2 featuring Cardi B, and this hit landed her a top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Her debut album Glorious opened with the biggest first week sales by a female rapper in 2024. Glorilla's music and personality has positioned her as one of the leading voices in the new wave of female rap.
Because Big Glow is the next big star. Between her and Sexy Red don't go in the same category for me, at least. I think Glorilla is the next big star. I think Glorilla's gonna take this real far, because I also think Glorilla has the ability to be an actress if she wanted to. I think Glorilla is funny. She's charming. Glorilla is willing to play the game. Like, I think when it's time for Glorilla to clean up a little bit, if she chooses to, she will. Like, I think Glorilla's ready.
I think Glorilla is definitely the next big star, like just coming out the gate swinging. I remember when Cecily told me to check out this video. It was Glorilla. What song was that? She was at the table drinking tea with like, oh.
Blessed.
And I was just like, oh my God, her voice was different. And
he got 99 problems in the fix one.
And literally since then, she has not failed. She has not missed at all. Every single thing she's doing it right. And when I tell you it's so organically hip hop, like that Memphis, like it's so organic. And that's how all the girls start. That's how everybody start. It gets you to like them, and then they start, as Cecily say, they turn the pop way too fast. You saw her at the awards doing her Janet Jackson stuff. You know, all that is cool. I hope she does it. You know, I don't want to see her on a song with Katy Perry too soon. Like, I don't want to, you know, I don't want that too soon. But she is the girl, and when she soon turns over to mainstream, because it's gonna be soon, I hope she does it right in a way that she keeps it organic to Memphis, and we still love her. The girl is on the news giving news forecasts, telling people it's 7 p.m. Friday, it's 95 degrees. I ain't got no nigga. Like, I love Glow.
Then we have Megan Thee Stallion, who gained attention with viral freestyles and early mixtapes like Tina Snow in 2018. Her breakout hit Big Ol' Freak put her on the map, and she skyrocketed to mainstream fame with songs like Hot Girl Summer and Savage, the latter having a Grammy-winning remix featuring Beyonce. Over the years, Megan solidified her place in hip-hop with numerous accolades, including 3 Grammys in 2021, making history as the first female rapper to win Best New Artist in over 2 decades. Despite her success, Megan faced personal and public challenges, which inspired themes of resilience in her music off her second album, Traumazine. Megan Thee Stallion returned from a hiatus stronger than ever in 2024. Her single Hiss, from her 3rd studio album, Megan, marked her first solo song to top the Billboard Hot 100 and made her the first solo female rapper to debut atop the Billboard Global 200 chart. That album earned her widespread acclaim, and she was praised for reinventing herself. However, her albums have sometimes been critiqued for falling flat. You guys might be as surprised as I was to see where Cecily and Pierre placed her, though.
Well, I think you actually will be surprised to know I will put Megan Thee Stallion as the next big stars. Not because I do not think, and Pierre, no. I can be very honest about my favorites. I can be honest about my favorites. And Pierre, you know this. I don't think that, I think that Megan Thee Stallion, like, while she is enjoying a lot of commercial success right now, I actually think that my fave has hit a little bit of stagnation in terms of the actual, like, music. And I don't think that she has hit the peak of her music career. And I'm not even talking about in terms of, like, creativity and lyrical flow, even though I think that she's a little bit stagnant there as well. But even in terms of numbers, like, if we really talking numbers, ain't none of these girls did what Cardi even just did in 2018 with Invasion of Privacy. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, if we really want to talk about, like, coming into the game and, like, shaking up and being that bitch, like, yeah, like, Megan just had her arena tour, her sold out arena tour, and it was like, yeah, like, that's what's up. And like Cardi hasn't even had a solo tour yet. So, right. So we can definitely, like, play those, but I don't know. I still think that there is, like, a big, like, all things considered, Megan's biggest solo moment in her career so far has been Hiss, right? Like, that was her first #1 solo project. Obviously, her biggest career moment, I think we could all agree, was WAP. Okay, obviously, it was a collaboration with her and Cardi. Obviously, in Savage with Beyonce. And I think that those are 2 huge, like, cultural moments. But part of that is because it's like, yeah, you had a moment with Cardi, you had a moment with Beyonce. A cultural architect and a game changer is somebody who has that moment by themselves, who can really, like, stand alone in that moment by themselves. And to me, like, Megan Megan's biggest moment of doing that for herself was with Tina Snow. That's what brought everybody into Megan Thee Stallion. It was like and Megan still has not matched that, and Tina Snow has not, it's not the big commercial success. So I actually feel very, very comfortable putting Megan on like next big stars, not in the exact same way that Doechii is the next big star, where like we can clearly see the path, but like I think that Megan can still gag me, you know what I mean, in a way that she has not yet. I'm gonna say that. Like Megan can still, and that's my sis. Megan probably is my favorite of all of the people on this list, honestly. But I think that Megan can still gag me. With every project that Megan dropped, I feel like she lost some of the energy that made Tina Snow and the persona that made Tina Snow what it is. And I'm literally just waiting on her to get back to that. But there's this thing that happens where I feel like sometimes girls go mainstream too fast. And then when they want to return back to their foundational music, their foundational sound, now the new like mainstream pop fan base that you've built, they don't want to hear that shit because like their introduction to you was through something else. So now you had this huge fan base. And I think for a lot of girls on this list have made that mistake. I think Lotto made that mistake, right? Like I think Lotto went too pop too fast. Like, girl, you shouldn't have been on tour with Lizzo when your biggest hit was Bitch from the South. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think that Megan still has like some foundational work to do. And sometimes I worry if it's too late. Like, oh, like, did you go too international too big too quickly? And then now it's always hard to get back to that original sound, which is like what actually makes you special.
Because I wanted her under that. But anyway,
yeah, Pierre's not a hottie.
Oh, I am.
Because Pierre is a crazy bard.
No, I like to look at things objectively versus subjectively. I think when I subjectively look at Megan, she is like all big. But when I zoom out, she really isn't, like, she doesn't have what it takes to sit on top of that pyramid next
yes,
to... Yes,
she do. She just haven't done it yet. She has what it takes.
I will. She has what it takes. She hasn't done it. I switched my words. Take that back. She hasn't done what those other girls have done. Her name is just around those other girls. We hear Megan's name a lot, but the work that she's done so far, it hasn't done the same things that these other girls have done. I wanted her to be cult favorites, but after hearing Cecily, I'm like, oh, I do feel like Megan has a lot more to go. Like maybe she can be that star. She can be Doja. Megan released so many projects. Like we talked about this on Purse First. She released so much stuff and nothing sticked. Nothing sticks. Like album after mixtape after mixtape after mixtape after mixtape after mixtape, and it started becoming repetitive. And like I can tell, like as an artist, I know what you're doing when you're releasing things. You're trying to see what people want to listen to, like what are they navigating towards, versus who I fell in love with, Tina Snow. That was just who you were, Megan. That you was just this college girl that was just rapping. And that's who we fell in love with. And soon, I think to Cecily's point, you became this industry girl. And that may have been too quick. And now we see these deals. Yes. We see her at the anime convention. Yes. We see her on the Doritos commercial. Yes. But as an artist, the music, that is the most important thing when you are an artist and when you are as talented as Megan Thee Stallion. And I think sooner or later, now that she's finally taken a break that I've been saying she should have took a long time ago, she's going to come back and she's going to show us the real Megan. She has a lot to talk about. She has lived. That nigga in jail, thank God. And I think she can be the next big star.
And I really feel like Megan is the next big star, really about to, with all of the potential to be a game changer. Oh, music-wise, to be specific.
To me, the only thing that gets her to the top of the pyramid is things other than music.
I do not think that Megan Thee Stallion has peaked musically at all.
Not if she goes stand next to the girl we gonna talk about, the two girls we gonna talk about.
Yeah, because when we talk about like let's just move on, because when we talk about the last two women on this list, it's like you're not there yet. And I'm happy that they invite you over to dinner. I'm happy that you get to go over their house. I'm happy that you are amongst them.
And that category is very specific.
Yeah, cultural architect and game changer. Everybody can't be that.
For these next two girls, I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna be very specific on the things I think they changed and like how they shifted the culture. But to me, Megan is just a really good rapper. But so is Remy Ma, and she can twerk. Megan can dance and rap really well. But I don't see her switch.
Yeah, because some of y'all favorites can't dance at all.
But as far as like a game changer,
the cultural impact that I do think that Megan had were things that were kind of out of her control. I think that Megan, first of all, came into the industry looking different. She was tall as fuck. She had a natural body. She did not have that BBL shape. And she was basically saying, I'm still having my way with these and you bitches is not. And on top of that, she was college educated. And that was like the one thing. It was like, no. Yeah, that was the gag. Actually, that was the gag of all. That
was my draw. I was like, this bitch in college, y'all. This
bitch is literally like, I'm dropping this shit, and I made Tina Snow bitch and had to go to class. Period. Like straight like that. I think that was so important for a lot of girls to see that. You know what I mean? Okay, you do not have to get a BBL before you even put your freestyle up on YouTube, right? Like, I do think that was very important. She's definitely the biggest fish in that pond. Like, and that's also, I think, what's frustrating to people like Pierre and I, because we're very much so ready for Megan to jump into the ocean. We're ready for her to be a big dog. Like, I think that Pierre and I can agree on that piece. I feel like, and I feel that in her brand right now, it feels cramped. It feels, every time I think I'm ready to be like more excited about something, I haven't been as excited for anything new that Megan has done since WAP. Every time I'm like, oh, let's do it again. Like, and to me, that's a game changer. Where every time they drop, it's like, oh my God, this bitch has done, at the very least, this bitch has done it again. But if not that, this bitch has outdone herself. And I have not felt that. I can be transparent about that. And I love Meg Down. I listen to Megan part 1 and 2 like that. I put her beat in my rotation. But I feel the constraints. I feel her trying to figure out, okay, where do I fit into this industry for real? Where do I fit in? Like, what am I doing? And I just think she needs some time to get there.
Now on to Doja Cat, a genre-blending artist known for her innovative music and visuals and witty personality. Rising to fame with her viral 2018 hit Moo, she quickly transitioned into mainstream success with chart-topping songs like Say So, Kiss Me More, and Paint the Town Red. Her albums Planet Her and Scarlet has earned her multiple awards, including Grammys. Doja is often praised for her versatility and creative artistry. She's also a cultural phenomenon, recognized for her social media presence and the ability to push boundaries in both music and fashion. So her place on this pyramid is so obvious.
You've said it all. She goes at the top for all of the reasons that you just mentioned. Period.
I went to the Scarlet Tour. I think that's the name of it. I have never witnessed something like that in my life. I have never experienced anything like that in my entire life. And this is nothing but music. Nothing but music. This girl was doing nothing but rapping. And I was just like, oh, this is the new queen.
She is the new supreme.
I can't name not one Doja sponsorship or deal outside. Like, all I know Doja for is music, and I love her. I don't know what brand deals Doja got, if she got any. I don't know what shoebox she on, what perm box she on. Doja music is the reason she is at the top of this chart. That little racist thing can rap.
Pierre, please. I quite literally have nothing to add. I think that Doja is a superstar. I think Doja has the it factor. I think Doja, she's playing with different looks all the time. She's playing with different sounds all the time, and be making it sound effortless. Because a good pop star is also like in tune with their own lore and their own narrative, and they play off of that. Like that's part of why Beyonce is so dope, because Beyonce self-references all the time, right? Either to old runs, to old notes, like what, old songs, old eras, whatever it is. Doja, that's something else that Doja does very well. Like the whole reason she even did this Scarlet album was because one too many bitches had said, "Oh, is she even a rapper?" She actually gives pop star this said, "Okay, bet I'm gonna give you a full album. I'm doing boom bap rap. I'm doing 90s rap. I'm doing drill rap." Like she literally, like I'm doing freestyles. Like Scarlet spanned the whole gamut, and I think similarly, in the same way that Doechii just did, she's just a superstar. The creativity is just unmatched. She truly is an artist. She's an artist. She's not just that, like, she's not just a rapper. She is an artist and a good artist. And a multidisciplinary artist. Like Doja knows how to paint. Doja knows how to dance. Doja knows how to rap. Doja can sing. Doja, like, she can write. She produced. And she produces and arranges a lot of her own vocals. That's the other thing I think that sets her apart and makes her music interesting. She plays a bigger part in the production of it. She's just that. She's just that. A truly raw, talented girl. She's actually kind of the opposite side of the coin of the other person who's going to share this top spot with her.
Then finally, we have Cardi B. Her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, broke records, won a Grammy, and solidified her status as one of hip-hop's biggest stars. Since then, Cardi has maintained her relevance with chart-topping singles like WAP, with Megan Thee Stallion, and Up, as well as many successful collaborations with artists such as Bruno Mars and Glorilla. However, fans have eagerly awaited her sophomore album, which has yet to materialize, and she's released enough buzz singles to create a complete album. What is the honest reason for the delays? And does this affect her position on our pyramid?
The reason
I agree that she belongs at the top, but I would love to hear Pierre's opinion, because I think that he's going to have the most objective.
The reason I think she belongs at the top, I feel like Nicki Minaj is the reason Cardi B is in the industry. And I also think half of these girls are in the industry because of Cardi B. I think Cardi B, Nicki paved the way for Cardi, and Cardi just opened it. The reason we have 7,000 female rappers today is because the success of Bodak Yellow. When they saw that somebody other than Nicki Minaj can make this hit song, not only make this hit song, Cardi was just this girl from the Bronx that just sat on a throne in a music video and just rapped her ass off. And the song was #1 for more than 10 weeks. Labels went back to the drawing board and they called up every bitch you knew. It was a flock of girls rapping the next week. And that was just Bodak Yellow. Then she releases this album, Invasion of Privacy. It is the most theatric album I have ever. She told so many stories. She explained who she was. There was music videos. There was collabs. Everything was perfect. This was the most perfect album I have seen in a long time. And she deserves that top spot. Everything else, of course, besides the WAPs and those, but now she's just getting in what she fit in. I think she missed the mark. It's going to be interesting when she releases the sophomore album, especially since she's fighting with that nigga.
Yeah, I agree. Cardi missed her opportunity. Cardi should have dropped the sophomore album with WAP. That is when WAP by itself as a single would have carried that album to do at least half of what Invasion of Privacy did just off that alone. And we know Cardi, because in that time Cardi has put out a couple of more little songs that could come close. So like, I think she could have got if not the exact same. She could have gotten very close to the success of Invasion of Privacy with the sophomore album had she dropped it then. However, that does not change, like Kier said, the fact that a lot of the other women on this list would not even be in conversation if it was not for Cardi. Because culturally speaking, to be more specific, what Cardi did actually was open the door for female rappers to be from the hood again. Nicki came out of the gate as like a mixtape artist. A lot of girls love Nicki because she was on the songs with Gucci Mane. She was on the songs with all of the trap niggas and doing the Gangsta Grills mixtapes. But when it came to Nicki Minaj's mainstream success, all of the fans that we know that's running up the numbers for her, all of the who create the bot accounts and shit for her, those are motherfucking super bass fans. Those are people who know Nicki Minaj from them ugly ass wigs and that chicken wing necklace. That's when Nicki Minaj was at her peak, when she was quite literally in her worst form as an artist. And I'm so sorry to say that, but like, it just is what it is. Like, all of these records and all of these numbers that Nicki Minaj has done as a rapper, while we can never take away any of that it's for a bunch of songs that honestly are an embarrassment to hip hop and that don't nobody but your white fans and the gays want to hear. So for Cardi to come out straight from stripping to love and hip hop to the charts, to Billboard, to Grammys, it was like, oh, because by the time Cardi came out, Nicki was fully a fucking pop star. Like let's just be honest. Like, and even her pop star aesthetic, it wasn't original. It was like, okay, I'm a rap, but I'm a dress like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. You know what I'm saying? At first I was dressing like Lil' Kim. Now I'm a dress like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. And I'm gonna make songs like Diplo, you know what I mean? But I'm a rap like me though, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a rapper and that's what I can do. And I can do my crazy personas and I can do all of this stuff. And I think Cardi she stripped a lot of it down to the basics. And we literally saw the domino effect of what we got out of that. It was a vibe that then Nicki Minaj had to come back and jump on. So like the first direct lineage I see is Cardi B immediately paved the way for City Girls. Like that's like an immediate direct connection. Like there is no City Girls without Cardi B. And then by that time, Cardi gets to clean up a little bit because she's experienced so much amazing breakout fame. But then that means City Girls get to be the new hood girls that everybody like. So now y'all can say period. And now y'all could be City Girls and y'all can talk about liking scamming ass, rich ass niggas. Cardi B and City Girls immediately open up that door for a Sexy Red, for a Glorilla. The door was always open for a Saweetie to make her nails as long as she could possibly make them and roll her neck and cosplay like she wasn't just at USC studying for her finals. You know what I mean? Like she been in the trenches, right? She created an aesthetic for Lotto to try to figure out where she fit into. Like literally, I'm actually very worried, honestly, about the future of female rap because I think that, first of all, hip hop in general as a genre is not doing well. I just think that interest is shifting towards pop and just other genres. And people are just, I think even like thinking about R&B and Afro beats, I just think that hip hop itself is like experiencing a little bit of decline. We're seeing a lack of music sales across the board. Which irritates me because I think we use that sometimes to like shit on female rappers. Like, how y'all shit ain't selling. But it's like, baby, nobody shit is selling. However, people are very interested in the parts of Black film experiences that they can pull from, that they can take from. The aesthetic, the language, the vibes, the mood. I don't think that they actually care about the lived experience or experiences or artistry of Black and brown femmes. And I think that if we just take a look at our culture in general, we're seeing this divestment from Black women's stories and Black women's experiences, the rollbacks on DEI. You know what I mean? Like I'm just thinking about like how many of these artists have been able to sustain themselves because a big company like Target was not afraid to have a female rapper, right? As a part of the, well, maybe not Target. Target is very conservative, but you know what I mean? A McDonald's, right? Or, you know, a big like conglomerate is not afraid to work with a female rapper. I don't know that is still the direction that we're headed in. And I think that it is going to become more niche. Like I think that like female rap is not going to be this like pop culture phenomena that it was for this first half of the decade. I think it's headed more towards a cult niche kind of no, if we're really invested in like developing female rappers as artists, because we are looking at all the wrong things in terms of what makes them artists.
I'm excited. I think history repeats itself all the time. So there used to be a time in the 90s and stuff that you had all these female rappers like we have now. Female hip hop was just booming. And then it just plateaued out of nowhere. And that's how you had the birth of Nicki Minaj, who carried it for a decade. But one of the things that I notice about Nicki Minaj that I don't notice about all of these other rappers is Nicki Minaj constantly, no matter what interview, no matter what song, she kept saying she was doing it for the genre. She was doing it simply for female rap. And that was the only reason to me, the only reason she was able to keep it alive. Nicki Minaj did it for female rap. When I hear rappers today, I don't hear people doing this for the genre. A lot of these rappers, we talked about it in this segment, the gimmicks and all this. A lot of people aren't here for the genre. They're just here for a gimmick, get a couple of dollars, and that shows up in the trajectory of this genre. You will soon see it going downhill, and you will see the girls who really rap, like Megan, them just releasing a whole bunch of projects. I think Megan is one of those girls that really does it for female rappers. They'll keep releasing projects after projects after projects. While these other girls, they come in, they get us excited, and they like, I'm about to go have 3 kids and fight my baby daddy all online, because that's what they wanted to do in the first place. I love Cardi to death, but Cardi was never supposed to be this rapper. She was not supposed to be this pop star. And now we're looking to her to save female rap. And she's like, what the hell is Offset? I'm about to bust his head. I'm raising my kids. She was never this rapper. She was never going to save female rap. And we put her in that position. So I'm excited about the next person who actually, the girl who is at home right now, who I think is Doechii, who is at home right now studying and looking at all of this, and she wants to come in to be the big female rapper.
After our very lengthy conversation, this is how we constructed our pyramid. Now keep in mind that this pyramid is based on our opinions and analysis. Where would you place these artists? Who do you think is up next? And what are your predictions for female rap overall? Don't forget to check out Cecily and Pierre's Purse First podcast, the only podcast dedicated to femme rap. Like this video and subscribe to BFTV for more content.
Okay.
Like I can't wait to see the rap girl who has like a crystal aesthetic, because Pierre, you gotta look at Crystal's pictures. Crystal always gives 90s. Like, yes, Crystal always gives like 90s, the main character of the 90s teen movies, like the prettiest girl at the school. Like that's Crystal's aesthetic. Like very like cutesy demure, but like imagine that as a rap girl persona. Imagine somebody really being able to play with that as like, you know, whether it's their lyrical content, their music videos, like that would be so good. Like,
oh.